What if I told you that the Bible has some surprising insights about wisdom that you might not have heard before? When we think about wisdom, we often think about being smart, insightful, or having a deep understanding of the world around us. But in the Bible, wisdom takes on a whole new dimension. It's not just about intellectual knowledge, but about living a life that's guided by God's principles and values. And that's what I want to explore with you today, what the Bible actually says about wisdom from God. I think we can all agree that we've all been there, feeling lost, unsure, or uncertain about what to do in a particular situation. And in those moments, we often turn to our friends, family, or even social media for advice. But the problem is, those sources of wisdom are often rooted in worldly wisdom, rather than spiritual guidance. We try to figure things out on our own, or rely on human wisdom to solve our problems. And more often than not, that approach can lead to more confusion, stress, and anxiety. We've all heard the phrase, wisdom of the world, but what does that even mean? Is it about being successful, wealthy, or popular? Is it about getting good grades, landing a high-paying job, or achieving some kind of status? The truth is, worldly wisdom is often about self-reliance, self-sufficiency, and self-promotion. But is that really what God has in mind for us? In contrast, the Bible teaches us that true wisdom comes from God alone. It's not about relying on our own understanding, but about seeking God's guidance and direction in our lives. And that's a game changer. When we understand that wisdom is not about us, but about God, it opens up a whole new world of possibilities. We start to see things from God's perspective, rather than our own limited understanding. One of the most powerful passages on wisdom in the Bible is James 1 verses 5-8, which says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind." This passage is saying that God is the ultimate source of wisdom, and that if we lack wisdom, we should ask Him for it. But notice the condition: we must believe and not doubt. Another passage that stands out is Proverbs 9 verse 10, which says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding." This verse is saying that true wisdom begins with a reverence for God, a recognition of His power and authority in our lives. When we fear God, we start to see things from His perspective, and that's when true wisdom begins. So, what does this mean for us practically? How can we apply this wisdom from God in our daily lives? Well, for starters, it means we need to start seeking God's guidance and direction in our decision-making. It means we need to stop relying on our own understanding, and start trusting in God's sovereignty. It means we need to be willing to surrender our plans, our desires, and our will to God's greater plan. One of the key insights I want to share with you today is that wisdom from God is not just about knowledge or information, it's about transformation. It's about allowing God to change our hearts, our minds, and our actions. When we seek wisdom from God, we're not just looking for answers to our questions, we're looking for a deeper relationship with Him. In summary, the Bible teaches us that wisdom from God is essential for navigating life's challenges. It's not about relying on our own understanding, but about seeking God's guidance and direction in our lives. And when we do, we can trust that He will provide us with the wisdom we need to live a life that honors Him. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Have you ever experienced divine wisdom in your life? How has it impacted your decision-making and relationships? Let me know, and don't forget to tune in next time for more insights from the Bible.